year was 1896 and the Christmas season was upon us. It had been almost 2 years since I left Baker Street, where my friend Mr. Holmes and I shared rooms for many years, to begin a life with my lovely wife Mary. However, as this time of the year so often brings about cheerful memories of old friends, I thought it would do me some good to call upon my friend before the holidays and see how life as a bachelor had been treating him. Needless to say, what passes for a bachelor's life for most nowhere near compares to the life of my friend, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Ah, Merry Christmas, Mrs. Hudson.
Oh, thank goodness you're here. I was just about to fetch you.
Whatever's the matter?
It's Mr. Holmes, sir, Mr. Holmes. Evil days have fallen upon him. He won't eat and he won't see anyone, insist on being kept in privacy save for this morning.
Well, Mrs. Hudson, I don't understand. He honestly sounds no different than usual. What happened this morning?
I went to his room, and the putrid smell, and the smoke, and his face. Oh, doctor, he's fallen gravely ill, and he refuses to see anybody but you.
Oh, there, Mrs. Hudson, you have nothing to fear. I will attend to him at once. Now, why don't you go make us a pot of tea?
Holmes? Holmes, it is I, Watson.
Well, Watson, we certainly have fallen upon evil days.
My dear fellow.
No, stand right back at once, I say.
But why?
Believe me, Watson, I speak harshly to you only for your own sake.
For my sake? But what could possibly... Good heavens, Holmes. What's happened to you?
I know what ails me, Watson. It's a coolie disease from Sumatra. Something at this point the Dutch know more about than we. But one thing's for certain. It is infallibly deadly. And contagious. Contagious by touch.
Good heavens, Holmes. Do you suppose such a consideration weighs on me for an instant? It would not affect me in the case of a stranger. Do you imagine it would prevent me from doing my duty to so old a friend?
If you sit there, Watson, I will talk. If you try to approach me again, I will insist that you leave this room.
Holmes, you are not yourself. A sick man is but a child, and I will treat you as such. Whether you like it or not, I will examine your symptoms and treat you for them.
Well, then if I am to have a doctor, at least give me someone for whom I have confidence.
And you have none in me.
Well, in your friendship, certainly, Watson. But facts are facts. You are but a general practitioner with very limited field experience and mediocre qualifications.
Such a remark is unworthy of you, Holmes. It shows me very clearly the state of your nerves. But if you have no confidence in me, then I will not intrude you with my services. But please, let me bring someone else. Sir Jasper Meek, Penrose Fisher, any of the best men in London, but someone must have a look at you. If you think I'm going to sit here without either bringing someone else to look at you or looking upon you myself, then you are sadly mistaken in your man.
You mean well, Watson, but your knowledge is limited. Oh, need I demonstrate no ignorance? What do you know of the Poly Fever? What do you know of the black forms of corruption?
I've never heard of either.
There are many problems of disease, Watson. Many strange pathogens of the East. I learned as much during one of my investigations. It had a medical criminal element in it. It is no doubt that I contracted it there.
You caught this on a case. But how?
I have a grievous suspicion that I got it amongst the sailors on the docks.
Or perhaps from this Chinese tobacco box.
Don't put that down at once, I say. You know I hate to have my things touched, Watson. You know I hate that. Now please, sit down, Watson, and let me have my rest.
But Holmes, you must see a doctor.
Well, if I am to see someone, then let it be Calverton Smith.
Calverton Smith? Who on earth is that? I've never even heard that name.
It may surprise you to know that the man best versed in this disease is not a medical man, but a biologist who specializes in microbiology. An outbreak of the disease upon his plantation caused him to study it. It is his obsession. A similar case involving the death of his nephew Victor is what led me to him. Watson, should the ocean not be overrun by oysters? They have no natural predators after all. Funny how the brain controls the brain. What am I saying, Watson?
Directions for Mr. Culverton Smith?
You must beg him. Plead with him, Watson. My life depends on it. There is no good feeling between us. His nephew died a horrible death. I suspected foul play, and I let him know as much. But please, do what you can to bring him here. And make every effort to return alone. I have every faith in you that you will be able to do this.
All right. I will go to him at once.
You will not fail me. But an oyster must have natural predators. Something to stabilize their population growth. But you and I, Watson, we have done our part. Dreadful. Dreadful.
I went at once to call upon Mr. Culverton Smith. However, upon arriving at his house, I was informed by his butler that he had gone out for the evening to a nearby performance house. As time was of the essence, I decided to seek the man there.
Smith. Culverton Smith?
Yes.
I have an urgent matter to discuss with you at once.
Can it not wait until after the performance?
I'm afraid not, sir. The matter is urgent. It concerns you and Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Mr. Holmes, you say?
Please, sir, I implore you.
Come, let us go somewhere more private. He's ill, you say? I'm very sorry to hear that. He's an amateur of crime, as I am of disease. For him, the villain. For me, the microbe. They are my prisoners. And among them are some of the very worst offenders in the world.
It was on account of your special knowledge that Holmes desired to speak with you specifically. He believes you're the only man in London who can help him.
Why? Why should Mr. Holmes think that I could help him in his trouble?
Because of your knowledge of Eastern diseases.
But why should he think that the disease he has contracted is Eastern?
Because in some professional inquiry, he's been working amongst the Chinese sailors down by the docks.
Oh, really? I trust the matter is not so grave as you suppose. How long has he been ill?
About 3 days.
Oh my. This does sound serious.
Please, sir, I ask you again, will you come see him?
'Tis the season to be merry. It would be unhuman of me not to answer his call.
Thank you.
The performance is almost over. I'll go to Baker Street once it is finished. An hour at the latest.
wish there was more I could do, Holmes.
You've done all that a good friend could, Watson. You always have. Without question, without fuss. I'm eternally grateful for that.
Thank you, Holmes. And I'm sorry I haven't been back sooner since my marriage. Life just seems to get in the way.
There's no need to apologize, Watson. After all, our lives are what we make them. Domestic life doesn't suit everyone after all. But if you are happy, my friend, then I am happy for you.
I am truly touched, Holmes. I just wish we could be talking like this under different circumstances.
The hour grows late, Watson. Do not burden yourself with small matters. It is a waste of time.
Time. What a fleeting thing it is. He's here. Watson, you must hide. Hide? But I must wait to hear his opinion.
Yes, of course you must. But I have reason to believe that his opinion will be much more frank if he imagines that we are alone. Now, into the next room. Quick, man, if you left me, and do not budge no matter what happens.
Holmes. Holmes. Can't you hear me, Holmes?
Smith, is that you? Oh, I never dared hope you'd come.
I should suppose not. And yet here I am. Coals of fire, Holmes. Coals of fire.
It is very good of you to come. Very noble. I appreciate your knowledge.
You do. You, unfortunately, are the only man in London who does. Do you know what is the matter with you?
It's the same.
You recognize the symptoms?
Only too well.
Well, I shouldn't be surprised, Holmes. Shouldn't be surprised if it were the same. Bad lookout for you it is. My poor nephew Victor was a dead man on the 4th day. Strong, hearty young fellow. Very strange that he should have contracted an out-of-the-way Asiatic disease. A disease, too, which I might add, I have devoted a very special study. Singular coincidence, Holmes. Very smart of you to notice it, but very uncharitable to suggest I was the cause.
It was only speculation. I swear to you, I meant nothing by it.
You went to the police! You ruined my reputation and put a stop to my research! What do you think of yourself spreading rumors about me like that? What kind of game is that, huh?
No. It is no game, I swear to you. Water. Give me water.
You're precious near your end, my friend. But I won't let you go till I've had a word with you. That's why I give you water. There, don't slop it about. That's it.
Please, let bygones be bygones. Only cure me and I will make it right. I will go to Scotland Yard. I will tell them you had nothing to do with Victor's death.
You can tell them or not, just as you like. I don't see you in the witness box. Quite another shaped box, I assure you, my good Holmes. It matters nothing to me that you know of Victor's death. We're not here about him. We're here about you. That man who came for me, I forgot his name, said that you contracted it in the docks among the sailors.
I can only account for it so.
You're proud of your brains, are you not, Holmes? Think yourself smart, don't you? We came across someone smarter this time. Now cast your mind back, Holmes. Can you think of no other way you could have contracted this thing?
My mind is gone. I can't think. Please help me.
Well, then I'll help you. Did anything come by post?
By post?
A box, perhaps?
I'm too ill to remember.
You must hear me. You shall hear me. It came on Wednesday.
The tobacco?
You remember it. Did you open it?
If I opened it, there was a sharp spring at the bottom. Some kind of joke.
It was no joke, as you'll find to your cost. You fool, you would have it, and you have got it. Who asked you to cross my path? If you had stayed out of my way, I wouldn't have hurt you.
It was infected.
And now it leaves with me. There goes your last shred of evidence. But you know the truth, Holmes, and you can die with the knowledge that I was the one that killed you. You knew too much of the fate of Victor Savage, and so I have sent you to share it with him. You're very near your end, my friend. But I will sit here and watch you die.
Please. Turn up the gas.
Turn up the gas, you say? The shadows lengthen. The coolies used to say the same thing before their end. There. Is there any other service I can do you, my friend?
Honestly, imagine a cigarette would be most welcome.
The best way to play a part is to become it. 3 days without food or water is one thing. 3 days without tobacco, I found almost intolerable.
What's the meaning of this?
All right. Let's have it then.
Who the devil are these people?
Allow me to introduce Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard. To save on any unnecessary trouble, I had you give the signal for my friend to come up to our rooms and make his arrest. Lestrade, the man you see before you today is a self-confessed murderer of Victor Savage.
Lie as you like, Holmes. It's your word against mine.
Is it though? Watson?
You! Damn you, Holmes. Damn you.
I have never needed it more. However, my habits are irregular. Such a feat would be excruciating to lesser man. But it was essential that you and Mrs. Hudson believe me to be at death's door.
But your face, your ghastly appearance.
3 days fast does not improve one's beauty, Watson. As for the rest, simple sponge can cure it.
But why would you not let me near you when in fact there was no infection?
My dear Watson, do you honestly believe that I have no faith in your medical expertise? I can assure you the truth is the exact opposite. At 6 feet, I had every confidence I could deceive you. Any closer than that, and to someone with a mind as astute as your own, the facade would vanish.
Brilliant, Holmes. But what of that tobacco box?
I would not touch that box. My correspondence, as you know, are varied ones, so naturally I'm on my guard about packages that reach me. If you look closely, you will see where the spring is attached to the bottom of the box, designed to shoot out like a viper's tooth upon opening the lid. I dare say it was by some such device that poor Savage, who stood between this monster and reversion, was done to death. It was clear to me that by pretending that Smith had succeeded in his plot to do me in as well, I might be able to surprise a confession.
But why did he do it? Why did Smith want to kill his nephew?
Do you remember I told you the disease was his obsession? I believe that he originally cultivated the disease with the hopes of creating a cure. However, I also believe that he used the coolies as lab rats. Human experimentation is a nasty business, Watson. Most believe it to be immoral, despite the potential it holds for medical breakthroughs. Undoubtedly, his nephew felt the same way. He learned of his uncle's secret, thus sealing his fate.
Dreadful business indeed, Holmes.
Here we are, dears.
Ah, Mrs. Hudson, you're splendid.
Well, it seemed only proper to have something to celebrate the season, especially with the old household together again.
Hear, hear.